Michael Scott, who is the head of business development for Rokt, is here today to talk to you a little bit about acquisition. And I just want to mention that, you know, the solutions providers like Rokt and the others that you see on the sponsor list here today, you know, they're the ones who are providing the tools and the resources for our marketers and our agency buyers to accomplish a lot of the specific marketing goals that we touch on today. So we're thrilled to have that piece as we add to the overall experience for you all. And to get this thing kicked off here, Michael, are you with us?
Yeah.
All right, here he is. So Michael, I'll let you take it away, but we're thrilled you're here and we're looking forward to the next 10 minutes with you here.
Hopefully it's a little less than 10 minutes.
All right.
Hey everybody, I'm Michael Scott. Thanks again for, Media Post for letting me talk for a little bit. I'll try to present my screen and not bore everyone to death. So, I mean, on a high level, cutting through the noise in digital advertising is one of the hardest challenges facing every marketer. And quite frankly, salespeople. That challenge is really magnified with our customers dealing with so many uncertainties, adjusting to working with kids at home or realizing they married that sales guy. Brands spend a lot of their focus on SEO and social for customer acquisition, which makes sense. 50% of digital interaction is on some sort of social platform. But the real question is, what's the other 50%? And it's online shopping, especially now more than ever. So what Rokt has kind of started to do is we partner with e-commerce companies, helping brands across the globe connect with customers who've just made a purchase. Think about when you buy something online. You're usually in a good mood, your credit card is out, you're happy. We call that the transaction moment. Outside of maybe Amazon purchases, I don't think I've ever bought clothes or pizza online and been in a bad mood. Over the past 7 years, we've learned that consumers are 200% more likely to engage with another brand after they made a purchase. So what Rokt is really trying to solve is, how do you connect that brand in an organic way after that purchase? I'll spare everyone the technical mishap of doing actual demo, but on a high level, I'm Jenny. I'm ordering dinner for my family on Pizza Hut. After I've made that order, on the confirmation page, Rokt is presented in a native way. We do that a few different ways. We try to maintain the look and feel of the website, typically pulling in the order confirmation number, so that way it's relative to that person's purchase. What our algorithm has determined is that Jenny is likely to be interested in Ancestry.com. So what we do to help kind of increase the likelihood for engagement is we're pulling in Jenny's name dynamically to help, incentivize her to engage because it's personalized to her. If Jenny's interested in, this offer from Ancestry.com, she'll click the yes, give consent, and then be driven to a landing page for conversion. We run a few different types of campaign types for our partners. So you're able to do email acquisition, website traffic, and also app install. What's really interesting for our D2C partners, they're actually typically running a campaign type called a hybrid campaign. So this is where a user is able to actually acquire someone's email address and also drive them to a landing page. So that helps if you have a longer time to conversion. So you might want to continue the conversation with that customer. And outside of other channels where you're just paying for a click, you're also able to kind of acquire an asset and actually get more bites out of the apple. But, the next question, obviously it makes sense to, advertise after someone's bought a pizza or advertise on Old Navy. I'm typically asked, what's your audience? So Rokt sits on 1 billion transactions a year. So our audience is really everyone, right? And just like you're doing with Facebook or Instagram, you're able to target by age, gender, device, even cool things like CC BIN number. Do your customers shop with debit cards, or is your core customer actually using a Chase Sapphire credit card? The one thing that kind of is like the hardest thing for brands to sometimes overcome is relevancy, right? Is my product actually relevant to that person making a purchase? So, the reason why is contextual relevancy makes sense. So if I'm buying a plane ticket online, it makes sense for me to see an offer from hotels.com. But because Rokt sits on so much first-party data, we think about relevancy in terms of who is that person. I'm a 36-year-old male I live in Brooklyn, New York. What do other 36-year-old men in urban cities engage with? And based on that data, that's the type of things that we're presenting to those customers post-purchase, which makes sense. So we've got a pretty interesting audience. We're able to kind of get your brand in front of consumers. But at the end of the day, as a performance marketing channel, it really comes down to, can you find your success metrics on Rokt? So obviously, every D2C brand has different CPA targets. They have different, attribution windows. What we've come to learn over the past few years is we have the ability to kind of test, prove out success, and then really find a lot of scale once we find the audiences that resonate best with your product. We work with a wide range of D2C brands. I'm always interested in what brands actually do work, and it's really the full spectrum is what I would say. And then the last note is, obviously customer acquisition is really, really important. But the thing that I think matters so much for D2C brands is really that LTV, right? Acquiring a customer who's just going to opt into your free trial and then churn after the month isn't really that valuable. So what we've been really focusing on with a lot of our D2C partners is how do we actually help you acquire customers that are going to, mimic your highest LTV customers. So what we're actually really doing is, based on your customer segments who have the highest, subscription length, we're able to actually target those consumers. So we're really actually increasing your LTV as a brand and really helping be a valuable partner in this space. That's really it. If you're interested in learning more about Rokt, shoot me an email at michael.scott@rokt.com. Feel free to include any office jokes that you've been thinking about throughout this whole time.
Awesome job. I wonder if I wasn't sure, some people some people are touchy on that kind of stuff, but I'm glad you embraced it. You've embraced it.
I mean, honestly, I've been in sales for so long. I've never watched the show. I like the British version better, but it's unavoidable. I've heard all of the jokes.
Love it, man. Well, hey, do us a favor. Put your email address into the chat box here if you don't mind, so everyone can see that. And then I'll also thank you later for that too. But excellent stuff. Thank you so much. You guys work with a ton of great customers, and I also know that you guys are doing a lot with personalized e-commerce transactions and optimizing that process as well. So a lot of great things to offer here. So thank you for joining us. We appreciate your input and your insights.
Thanks, guys. Well, enjoy the rest of the conference. It's been great to listen in.
Yeah, and we'll do it in person at some